everyone, it's Sherry and Elise here, and we just wanted to share a few tips that we've seen as far as mistakes that can be made when marketing alts that we've seen over our decades now of experience in this industry. So, Elise, I mean, you're front and center with our clients every single day. Like, what are some of the biggest challenges you see that come up?
I think the biggest mistake that I see is people waiting until their fund is live to start marketing. Now, I know compliance wise, you can't start talking about your fund until it's live and fully approved. But there's other ways to start marketing and, get out there with thought leadership, maybe about the strategy that you're doing, thought leadership about the asset class. Put out some education there and really start to build that interest. Also, if you're posting, on like LinkedIn, that's going to help build your algorithm so more people are seeing what you're putting out there. So when the fund launch and like the official marketing campaign goes off, those people will be reached with what you're talking about with your fund. So you've kind of done like the pre-ramp, we'll call, and really garnered that attention that you deserve when the launch actually happens.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I mean, we forget how hard it is if especially firms that have funds that open and close, that it's hard to like regain that attention. So I think that's a great point. One that I just continue to see, and we see this often, is just the jargon. And it's so hard because we're all in this industry. We know what we're talking about, but sometimes when we see a new strategy we're not familiar with, it really resonates and like, what are we talking about here? So I think it's just so important to take a step back, yeah, maybe even have somebody else read a piece of marketing to say, "Do you understand what this is saying?" Because we can just get really in our like own heads with the
Yeah.
language.
That's a good point, and I think too, because sometimes we're scared of compliance, we tend to just take stuff straight out of the prospectus when that's not necessarily what needs to be done.
Mhm.
There's ways, like you said, to lighten what's being read, and so it's understood quickly, so there's not, a whole bunch of red marks saying, "What is this? What is that? What's that mean?"
Yeah,
I
definitely.
and I think another thing that we're seeing too is just consistency. Often, what I see the most is you get a fund launch email, but then there's no follow up. Like, is there a webinar? Where do I find more information? It's like one email and done, and then expecting all of that momentum to like keep going. But when you're consistent and you're dropping multiple emails or adding blog posts to your website, stuff like that, that's where the momentum starts growing because people are reading emails. I've seen a ton of studies about it recently. The email is still the go-to. Um, just because they're not responding doesn't mean that they're not paying attention.
Exactly. I think that's a great point. It's still very relevant to do marketing and just kind of see what you can build on from there as far as other assets to share with advisors. And if you need help looking at your marketing just to avoid some of these common mistakes, reach out to us and we'd be happy to chat with you about it.